Hey everybody, this is Deborah, and I realize my light is really bad, so sorry about that. And so is my hair, just so that we both are clear on that. Okay. I've got lots of light and then no light. And this is morning pajamas and a jacket and a visor because I'm about to go for a workout. But I want to jump on and invite you. I've invited all of our Looping 50 community members and the personal trainers and health coaches that I coach with our Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast and people I talk to there. And you here, maybe both. And I don't want to miss anybody, but my friend Leanne Ely is coming on to join me for a masterclass. In fact, I'm just introducing her. I'm turning it over to her. So it's a no sweat masterclass for me tonight. Thank goodness, because it's a gorgeous day and I think I'm going to play hooky because I'm the boss. I can do that. But I'd love for you to just consider, do you love food? Do you love nutrition? Kind of geek, articles come out about food or recipes come out talking about ingredients or superfoods or things that can actually help us age backwards or age better. So you all know that I am pro aging. I'm not anti aging because we're actually not going to win that battle. We're all aging, but I think we can do it so much better than generations ahead of us have. And we are paving the way for those people behind us. So that is awesome. So if that's you though, you love to save recipes, healthy recipes, and yet maybe even you and I we're overwhelmed because there's so much about keto and there's paleo and there's intermittent fasting and there's fasting mimicking. I talk about that frequently. There is vegetarianism. Should I eat meat? Should I not eat meat? Does it accelerate my aging? But does that make me lose muscle? There are so many questions when it comes to nutrition that even you and I, who probably feel like we're the choir and we know more or we should know more, also feel like things are changing pretty rapidly and we don't know exactly what to do. Well, most of the world is like that. And as women, whether we're in the workplace or not, or we're working from home, we still make most of the decisions. Maybe we don't cook, maybe we don't do the shopping, but we make still most of the decisions about what our household, whether it's just us or you've got kids at home, aging parents maybe at home and or a partner at home, we still kind of are in control. We really determine, according to Consumer Reports, 80% of what happens in the household. So we influence the health of everybody else. And we do that for our friends, our coworkers as well, whether they're male or female, through our conversations. So super important that you and I, especially if your antenna is up in regards to health and thriving and what that looks like for us in 2019 and beyond. If any of that appeals to you, I'm going to ask you a few questions and let you know that this masterclass we have tonight, I don't want to waste anybody's time. If you've got better things to do, it's a beautiful night. We have longer sunlight. Be out and play. But if this feels like a fit for you, I highly recommend that you register. And I put it in the notes. So where you register, if you click off to your right side, you'll see the chat for this video. And I got to tell you, I am like the blind leading the blind. If this is your first time, it's only my second time doing live streaming at YouTube. So sorry about that. That's telling me my coffee is ready. So I won't be on long. But you can get the registration link. It's just a webinar masterclass that you'll register for. You'll get a reminder and a link to join. And we're on tonight. Leanne Ely was the creator, founder of what's called Saving Dinner. Now, you may not have heard of that, but you've heard of all of the meal delivery plans, right? Either delivering a plan and or delivering food right to your door. You know how popular those are now? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we would never probably have suspected that would be something we'd invest money in. We thought it was ridiculous, or we thought I should be able to do that for myself, right? We think the same thing often about exercise and hiring a trainer. It's like, I should be able to do this for myself. So true. But we don't necessarily. How would we ever wake up in the morning knowing how to do that? It's like something was wrong with your drain or your toilet. You're going to call a plumber, an expert who does it every day, all day. So, not knowing or having all the answers for how to cook and prepare food that is healthy for you and for everybody else in your family too, it's still a black hole for a lot of people. That said, they are they being other people, maybe you and I, willing to pay for help. People right now today are willing to pay for somebody who comes in and organizes their kitchen in a way that makes it easier for them to cook and get the tools that they want and puts the ones that they never use away. And they're willing to pay for people who help plan a grocery list, what they're going to cook, what recipes, why they're helpful for them, that they eliminate foods that really don't serve them well. They include the ones that do serve them well, like decreasing inflammation if you've got arthritis and or helping to reduce blood pressure. Certain foods will support that. Other foods will increase that, making sure you're getting adequate calories for an exercise program. All of those things come back to the kitchen, and we've got to be prepared to do it. But who's hiring coaches? Well, a lot of everybody, really. So if you just ask in your circle of friends, I would be willing to bet you know somebody who is getting food delivered, like with Sunbasket or other forms of delivery, just food, prepare it for me, I'll whatever it is. But that's usually according to you've got to fit in a box, and if you eat a certain way or there are certain foods you can't do, it makes it a little hard to make it personal for you. So people are willing to pay for it, just like they were personal training 10 years ago, maybe not so much, but right now, nutrition and cooking coaching is rapidly growing. It's one of the number one most rapidly growing careers out there. So you're ahead of the curve if you're even thinking about it. But here's the great news: you don't have to be a health coach or a personal trainer already. You don't have to have a degree in biochemistry and or in nutrition in order to be a health coach. You can be within scope of practice and boundaries. People are looking for help in prepping, and it's simply a personal service. They may want somebody to a client could hire you to come into their kitchen and create, a week's worth of meals in their kitchen, stored in the refrigerator in the freezer, tell them what the plan is, and done. So you might spend a couple of hours during your week actually doing that. You might go in and teach them how to cook certain things. And that might be how you spend your time with them. You could do it right here. So this could be in my kitchen. I could be making something. I could have already shared the grocery list and how we were going to line things up and the tools that they'll need with somebody. And then they could log in and do the cooking with me in real time and show them how in an hour they can get three different pots going with meals. That could be a business from anywhere you are in the world. And if you like the idea of doing that and you realize you're a good cook and your friends have always told you, you should do this. I would love somebody to come over and make this at my house. Any number of ways that you can apply the information you get once you know the nutrition and you fill the gap. Lots of nutrition courses are out there, but it's certainly not nutrition 101 that we got in college. That's not 2019 and beyond serving everybody, but it's also still leaving the gap. When you know what foods are good for you, you need to know, what do we do with them? How do we cook them in a way that amplifies as opposed to shrinks the nutrient density in those foods? Because there are certain things we can do that destroy some of the goodness in foods, and there are other things that will amplify it and amplify the flavor and the way foods like fats and acids and salts mix in a meal that can be good or not good. So, if any of this is resonating with you and you're like, I would love to know more about this, Leanne created a certification course called Nutri Coaching, and she's releasing information about it tonight. And you may be a perfect candidate because naturally, if you love food, love nutrition, you love to learn about it, and then you're sharing it just naturally, organically with your friends to help them understand nutrition a little bit better, you're probably naturally a coach, a teacher, an instructor, and you like to break things down, let people know why and how this is going to help them. You're the perfect candidate for doing this. And think about who you like to take advice from. Midlife women like to take advice from midlife women, somebody who's got some expertise and some life experience, both. I find that a lot of women in our Flipping 50 community, whether you're here or you're actually inside some of our private groups for our programs, are there because they want to be surrounded by like-minded people who understand, okay, I've got this, it's really hard to shake this, that are not being judged. And you're not necessarily learning from a 20 something and 30 something trainer or health coach. Not that that's bad, but they just don't have life experience. And there are some wise old souls, and it works really well for them, and they relate to you really, really well as well. But that gap can be really valuable. So you bring something to the table that a younger individual may not. So register if you can make it. I would love to see you there. Pass it along or share this if it's not necessarily for you, or if it is. If you know a trainer or a health coach who would love to expand their business, and maybe especially a health coach is feeling like they can't make ends meet, there's a lot of support inside of this course about how can you make this a business. What's the model, so that you're not spending hours and hours for pennies and pennies, right? That's not the idea. But this is a valuable service, because for none of us, or all of us, if we don't have our health, we don't have anything. So everybody realizes the importance of this, and everybody's got to eat, but not everybody cooks or knows what they should be eating. So I hope I see you there. I hope this was informative. And leave your comments along the side, and I will try to pop back in. I have a super busy day before we start the webinar tonight. So if I don't reach your question, I will try to come back to it tomorrow, but we will answer the questions as we can, all of them, on the live tonight. So thanks so much for joining